The taste and smell of some things take you on a trip down memory lane. Memories you thought you had forgotten flash before your eyes and transport you to a place lost in time. My wife Manjula always said, when you do something with your own hands, do it with love, and the outcome will always be good. It was tough for a local farmer to sell his produce in those days. Strawberries are delicate fruits. They last about 24 hours after picking. A little extra weight or pressure squashes them to a pulp, and there are additional precautions to be taken while growing them. In desperation, the farmers gave their produce to local vendors. They were paid only for what was sold, and the rates would fluctuate, so the farmer's income was uncertain. The obvious solution was to preserve the fruit to increase its shelf life. When we first started making jam, all we had was a kerosene stove, some vessels, and a thermometer. Our team consisted of Manjula, myself, and our home cook, and our total investment was 800 rupees. I set fixed rates with the farmers, who would bring the fruit on foot from 10 kilometers away. The entire family would come together to wash, pulp, and cook the fruits to the right consistency and pack them in little jars labeled Vora jams. After reading several books, much experimentation, and some failures, I created my unique recipe, which had 45% fruit content, as opposed to the normal 25%. I would arrange some bottles in the pharmacy I worked at and sell the remaining by going from place to place on my Vespa scooter. This was the humble beginning of what you know today as Mapro. In my attempt to retain as much natural fruit as possible, I created the first strawberry crush in India, which was mixed with milk to make doodh cold drink. It was the desi version of trendy fizzy colas in those days. We expanded to 3 home units in Panchgani and experimented with other ingredients to create new products. But what we called innovative was considered unusual by the FDA. I had to find a way to meet and convince these intimidating men. But I had no contacts. I had almost lost hope when I received news that an FDA director was staying at my friend's hotel in Panchgani. By some divine intervention, I found the way to arrange a meeting with them, and the rest of it went by in a blur. I received the permission to go ahead with my recipes, and thus was born our popular rose syrup with real rose petals in it, and the pectin jelly sweet made out of real fruit juice, which later led to the creation of everyone's favorite, Valero. After some years, I decided my work was done and handed over the reins to my nephew Mayur. We built our first factory in Panchgani and opened its doors to visitors who could now see and understand how our products were made. There was curiosity amongst people, as most of them had never actually been inside a factory. There were so many visitors that we soon required a space on the grounds for them to eat. You know this space today as Mapro Garden, where people are often seen sharing a laugh or two over a strawberry ice cream. The ice cream has a story of its own. Mayur's wife Rajvi wanted to visit her siblings in America, but they could not afford tickets for the entire family. She was determined to make it happen, so she made hand-churned strawberry ice cream by herself and began selling it to visitors at Mapro Garden. It was like going back to when we had just begun with the jam. 5 years later, she had saved enough to fund the entire trip for the family of 5. But the biggest reward has always been the happy faces enjoying the fruits of her labor. Our product range rapidly expanded, and we eventually outgrew our Panchgani factory and moved to our factory at Shindurjane, which has been designed keeping in mind the visitors who come to see our process. Even today, you will spot a family member there waiting to personally welcome you. Time has changed many things, but our values remain the same. We are here today only because of our farmers, our employees, and you, the people who let us share the beautiful moments of their lives. Whether it is the last spoon of jam you fight over at breakfast, or your hidden stash of chocolates, we are here to bring you together. We are here to remind you of a place lost in time. We are here because happiness is above everything, and we are all part of the same family.